Hey guys, it's Nick with Table 19 Media. Today I'm at a house doing a video tour. For this video tour, I'm actually having the agent present on camera and then do some voiceover to just talk about the different things about the property that a prospective buyer would want to know. So I shot a couple clips with my GoPro just to get a feel for, so you guys can see how we're shooting the agent on camera. I got him mic'd up with a lapel mic. And then he's written out a script, and so we just go line by line, so he can record his shots on camera, and then we just record with the lapel on them, the voiceovers. But today I just wanted to show you everything I'm doing, everything I'm using. Hopefully this helps you to get started or just get better at shooting video tours. So let's go over first of all the gear that I'm using. So the gear that I'm using today is first of all the Ronin S 3-axis gimbal, and then I have the a7III right here. Currently I just switched over to the Laowa 12mm, and for this, when I'm shooting video tours, this is what I do. So I go over and I have, oops, there we go. So I'm putting the focal point on infinity, so everything's going to be in focus. And then as needed, I'm just going to be adjusting the aperture right there. So right now I have it wide open to get the most light for the shots, and that's just instead of maybe I want to keep the shutter speed the same and the ISO the same, hopefully. So I'm just going to be adjusting this as much as possible. So when I go outside, I'm going to be changing it all the way to 22. So that's what I'm using right now. Earlier today in my bag, the stuff that I was using for shooting with the agent was this right here. This is the Sony G Master 24-70 2.8. I love this lens. I end up shooting a lot of stuff just with this lens alone. But when I'm doing video tours and photography for real estate, I'm going to be switching over to the Laowa 12mm lens for that. So this is what I'm using. I also have to put on a Tiffin. Earlier, because I'm shooting in Slog3, I have to put on a Tiffin variable ND filter on there that screws onto there. I don't have a filter that goes onto the Laowa 12mm, so that's why I'm going to be adjusting the the aperture here to account for different exposure levels. All right, so now let's talk about the settings on the a7III that I'm using. If we go over to, I have this custom button set up to take me right to the picture profile. So on picture profile 8, if I go over, I have it to Slog3, and then I've set the color mode to S-Gamut Cine, .cine. And from what I've read and looked up, I think that's going to give me the best dynamic range for what I'm going to be shooting for this today. So that's basically it. Just PP8. If you need to reset it, you can do that. If you need to go up and reset that to factory default, and then go into the settings and just change from S-Gamut. It was either on S-Gamut 3 or S-Gamut to S-Gamut Cine. That should do it for you. So now what's helping me with making sure that I have good exposure is I also set the AF on right here to gamma display assist. So this is what it looks like. This is what S-Log looks like, without any assist. It's pretty flat. It's gonna be really flat. But when I turn the assist to Slog3, that's going to give me a better idea of what the footage is actually going to look like. So I can see that, okay, this is way overexposed. I got my metering blinking, so I'm going to be twisting. I'm twisting this to get more control. So I'm at 0.7, 1.7, 1.3, 1.7. So that's a good exposure. Also, when it comes to zebras, let me hop into the menu and go over to zebras and zebra setting. And so custom 2, I have it to lower limit 94 plus. And that's going to help me because with Slog3 you have to overexpose it because you can bring back that information in post. So I have this custom zebra level set so that I know once those zebra hits, that is the absolute limit that I can go as far as exposure. So if I do see zebras, then that's something that I'm okay with losing the data in that because it's, it doesn't really make a difference with the shot. I want to make sure that what I'm trying to get in, in the video is, what's exposed properly. So that's what I'm dealing with today, and we're gonna get going. So this is another part that I definitely encourage, especially if you're shooting with an agent, is to have them write out a script of what they want to say so that we can go line by line. And if I go right here and say, okay, we're going to shoot, you'll be on camera for this part. We can shoot a voiceover for this part and this part. Why don't you come in for the first, say this first line walking through, and I'll show you, you'll see that in the video. And then you can finish it off, once we probably get to like breathtaking bathroom, that's probably where I'm going to start overlaying shots of the bathroom. So we don't need to go that far. So just go through it and just plot out, okay, I want you to be on camera for this part. I want you to be on camera for that part. Yeah. So it's super helpful to work with the agent to get them to, write out a script so that when you arrive on the day, you know what you're going to shoot. This is also good. So I know as a shot list, everything that he's talking about in the script, and he gives me a copy of it that I can make sure and go back through and say, okay, he mentions this and this and this. I need to make sure I get a shot of that to put into the video. So overall, I think it's super helpful to have them write a script, bring it with you, go over it, plot out, okay, you're gonna be on camera for this sentence, or this paragraph. Let's just record a voiceover for this and this and this, and so on. And so it's super helpful. And we've done a whole bunch of these with this agent, and it's worked out really well. So when it comes to shooting video, it really doesn't matter like where you start. I tend to do one level at a time and not just going back and forth, because it's kind of easy to forget, okay, did I shoot this room? Did I not? Did I, where have I been in the house? So for me, I find it that, just do a whole level one at a time, and go upstairs or downstairs. So there's 3 levels to this house. There's the bottom level, this is the middle level, and then upstairs where all the bedrooms are. So I'm just gonna start on the main level. And as I'm shooting, I'm thinking about how am I going to edit this together? What do I want to show first as far as editing the video? So usually I kind of shoot my videos in kind of the order that I want to edit them, so that it's just easier for me to go through and get all the clips. All the clips are pretty much in order, so that I can just start adding them into the timeline. So be thinking about that when you're shooting your video tours, if you're going to be editing them, to save you some time later on. All right, so I'm done filming all of the wide shots with the gimbal and the 12mm lens. So once I've gotten all the wide shots of the house, I'm gonna change lenses on the camera to the 24-70 2.8, because now I wanna go back through and get some, what I call, specialty shots, some close-up shots to really focus on the details of the house. Now this house is being sold mostly furnished, so I also want to make sure that I'm getting shots of how it's decorated, some of the furnishings that are here, just to give an idea of close-up of what's coming along with the house. So obviously I've got all the wide shots to show how everything is laid out, but now I want to focus on the details of the house that make the house so special. Shots like that include getting a close-up of the floor, the planks, the tiling, the granite countertops, maybe the backsplash, but also how it's decorated as far as a table and with the books and stuff. And you'll see some of these shots as I play them. But once I've done all the wide shots, now I'm going to go back through, change lenses, and get some of those tighter shots with with the 24 to 70 lens. Now, usually with these shots, I'm also filming. I'm shooting with manual focus, so I'm able to really pull focus on the lens itself as I'm moving in or moving away, to really just fine tune and get those nice shots with the focus coming in and out of different things in the shot. So that's just another tip. You don't want your videos, especially with video tours of real estate, to be so monotonous with just wide shots. You want to break it up, preferably in every room. Get at least 1 or 2 shots in every room that you have, at least, even if you don't use them, you have at least to break up the monotony of just the wide shots everywhere. So I'm going to switch lenses and do that now. I don't know about you, but it is like so annoying sometimes to get this, disconnect this piece from this piece. I don't know why it's getting stuck, but it's just a pain in the butt sometimes. All right, so now I have my 24 to 70 2.8 lens on there. Most likely going to be shooting at like the full 70 millimeters. All the way extended, because that's going to give me the most, aperture, the most depth of field as I'm shooting these shots. And I really want these shots to stand out from the wide, everything's in focus. I want these shots to be, you're just getting a sliver of something in focus just to really separate it, from the background. So I'm going to go through and get some of these shots, a couple shots in every room, just so I have them. And that should help break up the video and just adds that extra level of I think just a detail to the video. Another thing that I thought about, and when shooting the specialty detailed shots, is looking, as you're going through the house, looking for those very special, unique things that make the house, special. Things that maybe at first glance people won't catch, but it's looking for those, those little shots that just set it apart and make it, just jump out to that person. Because again, when ultimately you're trying to help sell this house for the agent. So anything that you can do to really make things stand out and pop out for that one viewer that sees that video and goes, I have to have that house. So keeping that in mind, and a great example is right here, this railing. This is pretty uncommon down here. Is these wires. So I may want to get a shot, close up of those wires to show, hey, this is not just a normal railing, but it has these wires that go up it. So hopefully you're creating a memorable experience, an emotional experience when people watch the video. So anyway, something I thought might be helpful for whoever's watching today. Hey guys, before you watch the final video, I wanted to let you know that I'm breaking this up into several videos. Actually, I think it'll be helpful. This first one was more about the settings and how I'm shooting the property. The next video, I'm going to show you shooting all the drone footage for the video, the settings, and just the whole process of me flying, so that you can see what I'm doing. The other video that's coming up after the drone video will be actually the editing part, and putting it all together, coloring the Slog3 footage on how I'm doing that. So so keep an eye out for those 2 other videos, for for all 3 of these videos to show you the whole process. It just takes a little bit longer, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it, and have a lot of great info in there to help you get started or help you get better with your video tours. So anyway, enjoy the final version, and I will see you in the next video.
Hi, I'm Lance Neal with the Neal Group. Welcome to 26314 Cotton Bayou Drive in Orange Beach, Alabama. This beautifully updated home is perfectly situated on Cotton Bayou and offers expansive water views. Upon entering the kitchen, you are welcomed by a wall of glass immersing you in an abundance of natural light. The spacious waterfront living area and open floor plan are ideal for entertaining family and friends. This stunning duplex unit features a fully remodeled kitchen equipped with white shaker cabinets, tile backsplash, light-colored quartz countertops, raised bar with seating for 4, under cabinet lighting, over cabinet lighting, ice maker, and stainless steel appliances. The spacious master suite offers a private balcony overlooking Cotton Bayou, sitting area, walk-in closet, and a breathtaking bathroom outfitted with quartz countertops, double vanity, tile plank flooring, a large walk-in marble shower, separate tub, and a private water closet. The home features ensuite configurations in all bedrooms, luxury vinyl plank floors on the main level, high ceilings with crown molding, large baseboards, 8-foot doors, recessed lighting, custom drapes in all bedrooms, wall-mounted televisions in every bedroom, plantation shutters in the living and dining areas, freshly painted interior and exterior walls, 2 large covered balconies, an exterior storage closet, shared pool, a deeded boat slip, and a private white sand beach offering easy water access. Recent renovations include a new metal roof, heating and air systems, hardy board exterior, new wood decking, flooring, interior stair rails, new pier, shaker cabinet fronts, and a louvered privacy wall in the carport. This turnkey home is being offered mostly furnished and is conveniently located less than 1 mile to the beaches and less than 1.5 miles to Perdido Pass. If you are interested in this home and would like more information, please contact the Neal Group or visit our website at thenealgroup.com.